Hey, wifey. Many of us first generation wives drown in self pity during the rough parts of our marriage. Our husbands' stern, no nonsense attitudes can feel like a brick wall, driving us to frustration and tears. We wish our husbands would just be passive and accommodating, more tender, less rigid. But then there's the woman next door, quietly miserable because her passive husband drives her crazy. She spends her nights wishing he would take charge, be more direct, and just lead. And both of these examples live trapped in an exhausting cycle of comparison and fantasy, believing their happiness lies just outside their reality. If only their husbands were different. Marriage often feels like this. You may think the problems you're facing would vanish if circumstances were different. But this mindset is a trap, one that leaves you perpetually unsatisfied. I used to fall into this trap too. Like many people, I would always wish I was doing something else or in some future life that I imagined would be so much better. I envied others who seemed to have it all figured out. Her husband is so nice. He's so nice to her. I made endless plans for someday, believing happiness was waiting in the life I hadn't yet reached. But that's a fool's game. We all get caught in this. We compare what we are doing to what we could be doing or to what others are doing. But this endless comparison robs us of joy. You'll never be satisfied because there's always something that looks better. And here's the truth. Happiness doesn't live in a different set of circumstances. It's available only in the now. And until you realize it's now, happiness, joy, peace will be this elusive, beautiful butterfly you will never be able to catch. I've learned that whatever I'm doing right now is exactly where I need to be. If I'm writing a post, that's a creative joy. If I'm reading a book or working on my own, that's inspiring. If I'm spending time with my family, that's a beautiful gift. Even the small mundane things are amazing when you stop comparing them to something else. Take washing the dishes, for example. Most people would rather be doing something else. Eating out with their friends, binge watching their favorite TV show, but dishes can be beautiful too if you decide to see it that way. You feel warm water on your hands. You notice the texture of the dish. You hear the quiet hum of the room around you. It's a moment of peace, meditation. Life becomes full of moments like these when you focus fully on the present. Do you ever form a soap bubble on your hand while you're doing the dishes and watch the rainbow of color within slow dance in a translucent sphere of color until it pops? And these things that used to amaze us as kids are still amazing. And the same goes for the challenges in your marriage. Instead of fixating on what you wish your husband was or who he could be, try paying attention to the person he actually is and learn from him. Appreciate his qualities as they are, even if they challenge you. And I know they challenge you. I know. This shift, embracing what is rather than longing for what is missing, transforms relationships. If you live in constant comparison, life will always feel like it's coming up short. But when you stop wishing you were somewhere else or with someone else, you realize that this moment, right now, is the best thing ever. Life becomes significantly better. When you comprehend the truth about how choosing life or death in every area of life works. Tell yourself stories that serve you and your marriage instead of stories that disempower you. To live a new story, your identity must change. And here's a new story for you to identify with and change your life. Are you ready? I am a first-generation wife, and I will learn and apply the codes to rewire my identity from a helpless wife into a warrior wife who creates her own peace and her own joy. No one is going to save me. I have to be the change I want to see in my marriage. That's a new story for you. If you've been telling yourself, my husband is mean and marriage is hard and I didn't have a good example because I'm a first generation, it's not going to change anything. First generation wives resolve the inevitable blind spots. That's what I do. I help you to resolve the inevitable blind spots of a woman who was raised without a father in the home. I am a first generation wife married to a first generation husband for 26 years. And marriage was harder than normal marriage hard for us. It was painful and a constant struggle until I decided I had to be the change. I wrote a book explaining the concept of observing your marriage like a classroom. And I've recently written a set of codes, cheat codes, that can literally be applied in any situation to change your identity from a frustrated wife to a pissed off wife to a satisfied wife who loves and likes and regains her attraction to her husband. Follow me if I resonate with your spirit. Like and share with another wife who needs to make these same changes. If you want to sign up for my email list and stay current on my offerings for wives like us, my website is DeliseCollins.com. Remember, marriage is an art, so be creative. Marriage is a game. Have fun with it. See you on the next video.